In researching what should go into this course, we asked lots of different law firms what they're looking for in their trainees, particularly with regard to technology. We were overwhelmingly told trainees need to get the basics right, in particular Microsoft Office. There are just no real alternatives to Microsoft Office in the legal world. Just occasionally, I suppose, people use alternatives to PowerPoint, particularly Prezi or Custom Show, but really MS Office is the place to be. And there's a perception that lawyers don't spend a lot of time typing up their own documents. Perhaps secretaries do it for them. But the reality is that in an average law firm, lawyers do 80% of the keystrokes. So these skills matter. They matter to law firms, they matter to clients, and they'll matter to you if you end up spending hours on a job that you can't bill for. So please see the links to sign up for Jisc training in various digital skills. The training package will assess your competency in a wide range of areas and send you links to appropriate level training resources in order for you to improve. However, in this video, I will be highlighting some of the key skills in Microsoft Office in particular and some other software programs that you'll need to master. So we'll talk first about Microsoft Word, and there are three absolutely essential skills that you will need with Microsoft Word in the legal world. The first one, most of you will already know, which is that there is an ability to search for a word within a large document by holding down Control and pressing F, and it brings up a navigation box in the top left. Here I've put in the word borrower, and it's found the word within my document. So you get to it by pressing Control and F, or by the Home tab on the top left. You click on the Home tab, and then on the top right you can see there's a little pair of binoculars that say Find. So that will allow you to find any number of words within a document. There's also a similar but slightly different function in that you can find a word and replace it with another one. So you can hold down Control and press H, and it will bring up the Find and Replace tab. So perhaps you might want to change your borrower from an undefined term into a defined term, so that we're going to change the small b on borrower to a capital B. So we can find the word borrower and we can replace it with the capital B, and we can be sure that there are no other references to borrower within the document that we have missed. So similarly, Find and Replace can be found again at the Home tab up here, and then across just underneath where the binoculars were, there is the Find and Replace button, and you can get to it by pressing Control and H. So other things that you will need to be able to do is you will need to understand about tracking changes and blackline versions. So in order to track changes, you will need to go to the Review tab. So if you look at the top, there are a bunch of tabs. One of them here where my mouse is the Review tab. So if you click on the Review tab, it will bring up different options. And one of the options right in the middle of the screen is to track changes. So you can get there straight away by pressing Control, Shift and E, or you can just click on the button, and once it's highlighted, you can see that changes are being tracked. So what that means is that if somebody sends you a version of a document, you can just make sure that any changes that have been made to it are being tracked, so everybody knows what changes have been made from a previous version or what comments somebody's added. So as I type or I add things, you can see that they are underlined because you can choose what you are seeing. But essentially, if you click on the left hand side, you can get rid of the underlining if you find it annoying, and it's just a red line on the left hand side to show you that changes have been made, or you click it again, it goes back to underlining the changes that have been made, so everybody is still aware of what's happening. Another very useful button within the Review tab, which lawyers love, is the Compare button. So the Compare button can be found just to the right of the Track Changes button within the Review tab. And here, if you click the Compare button, it allows you to compare two different documents. So you can pick your original document and the revised document, perhaps a version 1 and a version 2, and it will allow you to see what's been changed between those two documents. So it will show you, in the same way that Track Changes has shown you, the changes that have been made by a person between different versions. And the other thing that lawyers like to do is to make sure that they can insert comments. So comments don't directly affect the document, but they can comment on something within it. So here we're going to go to the Insert tab up the top left. And under Insert, we can pick the word comment. So we can pick comment here, and we can say something like leaving this clause in until client confirms position. And then, whilst not actually changing the document itself, it annotates and gives much more information to people reading it. You can get to comments by pressing Alt and R and then C, and that will take you straight to the Comments tab instead of going to via the Insert tab and then pressing the Comments button. But let's show you a way that you can get to all these buttons or any of the buttons much more quickly when you're navigating. So you don't need to remember all these shortcuts or exactly which tab that you want to find them on. Okay, so let's go back to the Home tab where we had the Find and Replace. So we want to use Find and Replace a lot, so we are going to right-click on Find, and we're going to add it to the Quick Access toolbar. So what that does is up the top left of the screen, you can see we now have an instant link to the Find button. We don't have to remember what the shortcut keys were. We don't have to remember which tab it's on. It's just there because we use it a lot. Same with the Replace button. We can add it to the Quick Access toolbar, and there it is on the top left. We can do the same with our track changes. We can add it to the Quick Access toolbar. We can do the same with the compare. Again, you get the whole gist of where I'm going with this. So anything that you use quickly, you can add them to the Quick Access toolbar. And if there's something you don't like on there, you right-click it and just remove it from the Quick Access toolbar. And that speeds up the whole process a lot. So before you joined a law firm, you may not have had much cause to worry about the format and the style of your documents. But if you click on the Home tab here, you'll see that a large proportion of the Home tab screen is dedicated to formatting and style. So there is a whole box where you can choose quickly and easily the different formats and styles that you want. And this allows you to apply your particular law firm styles with the right spacing, the right font, all the things that your law firm uses to have documents looking uniform across the entire law firm. It's very important that you are able to use this for a couple of reasons. So one of the things that it will do is that it will look better, and it will be a more consistent document. And the other thing that it will do is allow you to automatically use various features within Word that will automatically update. So here, if we make sure that our heading at the top is heading 1, and then our second heading for Microsoft Word is heading 2, and then our subheadings are heading 3, and this one is also heading 3. So now we have a hierarchy of headings, and Microsoft Word knows where each thing is. We can now insert a table of contents. So if we go to References tab, up the top here, the References tab, first thing on the left-hand side is Table of Contents. And because we have already chosen the right styles to go with our headings, it knows exactly where everything is. So we can put in an automatic table of contents, which doesn't help us very much because we only have a single page document. But imagine this document were hundreds or thousands of pages long. Having a table of contents that automatically updates itself as things move between pages, things get deleted, that table of contents automatically updates itself is a very, very useful thing. It saves hours and also is much more accurate. You can get to table of contents directly by holding down Alt, then pressing S, then T, then I, or you can just go to the References tab at the top and then finding it in the top left. And of course, as we know for everything, we can add it to the Quick Access toolbar as well. And sticking with the theme of formatting, if we go back from the References tab to the Home tab, click up here, there is something called the Format Painter. So what that will do is copy the formatting of a particular section and apply it to another section. So if you like the way something looks, the color of the text or the spacing or whatever it is, and you want to apply it to something else, you can select the text, hit the Format Painter, and then select the new text you want to apply it to, and it will instantly apply the same formatting to that new text that you've just highlighted. Also with formatting, things can sometimes go wrong, often when you're cutting and pasting things from either another document or maybe the internet or something like that, whereby you're not quite sure how to fix it. It's got some odd formatting that you're not quite sure how to undo. So here, if we look at the grey boxes for Control Shift and C and Control Shift and V, I don't know what's caused this. So if I go to the text highlighting and I put it as no color, it doesn't help me. The gray is still there. I don't know why those things are gray, but what I can do is I can highlight those boxes and I can click then on the button in the middle, which is clear all formatting. It's got a little A and a rubber beside it. So this removes all formatting and just leaves you with the text. So here, if I remove all formatting, it will get rid of the bullet points, but it's also got rid of that weird grey box that it had. And then I can just re-add the bullet points with the button there. And then lo and behold, I have my text back. I'll probably need to bold these sections, but everything else now looks fine, and I don't have to worry about that odd grey text. So you've got the clear all formatting button, which is true across all different Microsoft Word products, so you can do the same thing in Excel or wherever, and it will allow you to remove formatting from oddly formatted things. It's pretty common as well for legal documents to have some pretty intricate numbering systems, a lot of hierarchical numbering systems that can move between numbers and letters and Roman numerals, and mastering how to navigate these can be important. So if we take a simple list, we can highlight this list and we are still under the Home tab. And under the Home tab, there is something called a multi-level list. So we can just drop down the multi-level list and we can pick any of these different styles and then apply it to our list. And then you can move up and down different levels of that list by holding down Shift and Alt. So I'm holding down Shift and Alt, and then if I press right, I can move along a level. So that's now changed from a 2 into an A, and then right again, and you can see it's moved to a Roman numeral I as it moves up and down the sort of the hierarchy of the list. So right, Alt Shift and right takes it lower down the hierarchy, and Alt Shift and left moves it up the hierarchy. Also Alt Shift and down, you can see that parties is moving up and down the list. Alt Shift and down and Alt Shift and up will move it up and down the list, as well as Alt Shift and left and right. So that is the key to mastering multi-level lists. And as lawyers, we tend to be pretty good at the content of documents, making sure that what we put in them is correct, and not so good at making them look pretty. So one of the things that you can easily do to make your document look much better is inserting pictures and have the text wrap around them. So what we're going to do here is to go to the Insert tab under the tabs at the top, and we are going to insert a picture. So we're going to click on Picture, and here we're just going to select our picture and resize it as appropriate, so that we get it to the right size. And you'll notice that at the top, it's automatically taken us to the Format tab under Picture Tools because we've inserted a picture. And also to the right of the picture, there is a Layout Options, a little rainbow, I guess, with words around it. So you can click on the Layout Options here. And if you choose one of these options, let's pick square, that means that you can now use text wrapping with it. So you can grab your picture and you can move it around as you like, and the text will move with it, so you can position it and make your document look much prettier, and just generally get the presentation looking a lot slicker. Other things that you can do, of course, you can insert tables into your documents. It's really easy to do. You go to the Insert tab at the top, Insert, you hit Table, and then you pick the size of the table that you want to insert. And you can see it doing it on the screen. Most people can do this. It's not a problem. So we insert our table, let's say, but don't forget it will automatically then take you to the Design tab. So look out for the top of the screen, and you can then make your table look much prettier by selecting one of the options, which will give different colors and different feel to your tables, and make sure that they look much better than they would have done otherwise. Then you can just type in these boxes as you like and fill them out. The other thing that you can do if you have existing text that you've typed out, I'm sure we can all create tables like this with just text. These are just separated by a tab. Again, you go back to the Insert tab at the top where my mouse is, you pick Table, and you pick Convert Text to Table. So this will just automatically work out the number of columns. I don't have to change any of these settings. And now it's changed it straight into a table for me. And again, the Design tab has appeared at the top, allowing me to pick one of the options that makes it look nice, so that I can choose how I want to present it as I go. Different options as we go forward, but all of them look better than that bare text that was there before. We're also able to insert other things apart from tables. So go back to the Insert tab, and here we'll pick a chart. So let's pick, well, lots of different options. Let's pick a pie chart, 3D looking pie chart. We can customize it as we like. And it'll pop up with a box that shows you figures that you can type in. You can change that to say whatever you want. Let's put in some figures that we have put in before. And again, you'll notice that at the top it's taking you straight to the Design tab with the different options that you have available. And similarly, on the right-hand side, you've got your text wrapping box, and you can edit the style of the chart. These automatically pop up for you. So we can pick a slightly different style. We can pick, let's say, a 3D type style. Let's have one with the names on so that we can see what's happening. And there you have your pie chart inserted and making your document look a lot slicker. Let me move this down and hit Control and Enter to move it onto the next page, which you may want to pause the video at this point. It's just a list of shortcuts which speed things up a lot within Word. I certainly use Control and C and Control and V a huge amount in order to speed things up. But pause it, note them down, and have a look.